What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be reviewing. What am I reviewing? I always gotta ask myself. I do different reviews. I'm doing Put a Ring on It. This is season 3, episode 9, and it's called A Blast from the Past. But before I get started, for those who are new to my channel, I do detailed reviews of reality shows. Try to pull out the most important parts that stick out, and maybe even pick up a couple of details that you may have not picked up. But as I said in my intro, I am YouTube's #1 commenter. So to me, it's not about the like, it's not about subscriptions, but I need those comments. That gives me the energy I need to do these videos and give y'all great content, because I don't do it for myself, I do it for the people. As I said, I could be anybody who's familiar. All my YouTube cousins know I'm in all comments across the globe, wherever, about any subjects that I enjoy or I respect that content. But here I got my own platform, and it's really not my channel, it's our channel, it's the people's channel. But I need those comments so we can continue to build our community. And our community is the Dub fam. We get down in the comments, we laugh, we joke, we debate, go back and forth. But the key is all about just having fun and learning. But the only thing that I ask is that the #1 rule and the only rule, we gotta respect each other. Yeah, it's called the Dub fam. We're family. We're YouTube cousins. You're my people. So we all about respect over here. So let's go ahead and get into the get to the review. As you see, I got my turtleneck on, because this is the turtleneck session, because it's continuing from the last session, which I called, the turtleneck group session, where Mr. You Heard Me and Shorty Mac and who else? Mr. Otis had on turtlenecks. We in the middle of May, but I put the turtleneck on for y'all. This is the closest thing I got to a turtleneck. I don't have a turtleneck for real, but we pick up, like I said, in the group session, and Kenneth, he's having like almost I would call a mini Louisiana gumbo meltdown. You heard me? Because Shorty is saying that she's not going to give him praises because he's doing the absolute bare minimum in the relationship, because she pretty much said it plain. She's out working and he's at home all day doing what? I guess he's like Steve from Married at First Sight. He's being creative and he's dreaming of their future. So apparently, it's a lot of women of today finds that is absolutely acceptable. So we'll go with it. It makes sense. Steve can dream, so can Kenneth. He can dream too. So in the session, for the first time of this season, I kind of backed up off the great Dr. Nicole. And why I say that, because she's proven all the Dr. Nicole naysayers right. When she started talking about, she giving an analogies about, well, I think we're starting to talk about the branches instead of the roots of the problem, concerning their relationship. And I'm like, Dr. Nicole, please stop it. Please stop it. You're proving these people right. Just say more so. We want to see if we're just talking about the now or the long term in a relationship. Just say that so that people can understand. You ain't got to go through the branches and the trees and all that kind of stuff. Because that is the thing. Because a lot of people don't know that they're in temporary relationships when they think it's forever. But okay, we're gonna move on. So the great Dr. Nicole, when she's talking, she got me thinking that she's been watching Ready to Love or something like that. Now, why I say that? Because now Dr. Nicole has curveballs, and I don't know why we need them, but the curveball option is that they could actually, they have the right to date their current partner, or they can go out on a second date with someone from their previous date. So they can pick anybody. So Fonzo, of course, I had a feeling he was going to pick Tanisha the Temptress, his last date or whatever, the PYT, who about 17 years his junior, but I don't really see the connection. So Shay, she's going to have a date with the guy, I forgot his name, the guy who was the bouncer at the hibachi restaurant when Shay was about to get a plate upside her head with the Detroit girl. So she's gonna go out with him. And Charlie, she's going back out with Odell Beckham Jr., the fake one. And I'm not sure why, but you know, that's her choice. And Mr. Otis, he really surprised me. He's going out, I believe this was his original date, Cherie. And why I said that, because he said Cherie didn't show enough skin on his date. But I really thought they were going to hit it off, because the first words pretty much out Cherie's mouth was she wants to be submissive. And that's right up Mr. Otis' alley. But I guess he wants Charlie to be submissive to him. And Kenneth, he's going out with Myasia, which was Shorty's previous co-worker. And Shorty, of course, she's going out on her, her fourth date with Tavi. You know, they pretty much planning an engagement at this point. So Kenneth, they go to the next scene where Kenneth and Shorty, they're at home. Shorty's she just chilling out on the couch looking at her phone. She had a little sweatshirt dress on, and she had the Jordan 6's Carmine edition. Why I pull out that detail? Because fun fact, your boy J-Dub used to be that crazy sneakerhead kind of guy, because I grew up loving, I told stories where, you know, I have all the sneakers, and it kind of never stopped. But I went to rehab, and I've like cut my inventory down in half, so I don't really have that many special sneakers, but I can appreciate them. Shorty had the Carmine 6's on. Shout out to little Shorty with that. So Kenneth, he's pretty much in a place of irritation. He's about to come in real hot, because, you know, the man trying to get his respect back. He feel like Shorty is disrespecting her. So he just telling her, like, you know, you gonna watch what you say to me and your tone. Shorty wasn't phased like one bit. She just like gave a little smirk or whatever, like, oh, you really laying down the law or whatever, in which it was a mistake. Kenneth came in, like I said, hot with all these emotions, and Shorty was really like calm in the situation, and she picked this man apart, and he's supposed to been laying down the law and telling Shorty what it's going to be and how it is, you heard me, but it didn't go that way. So Shorty pretty much put down she put down her foot. She laying down the law. She told Kenneth he need to stop lying. He need to stop making those like little fake apologies, so he can, like, they can sweep things under the rug and he not really sorry. And I would say, like, Kenneth, he was kind of thrown off by that, because he thought he was going to be putting in demands on Shorty and telling her how things it was. But Shorty just put up a mirror to Kenneth and just, like I said, picked him apart. He's inconsistent. He's a liar. He doesn't follow through. All those things. And Kenneth, you know, in which I would call, because I want to keep pushing this topic, because a lot of people, it's a hot button. You know, I would call Kenneth's attitude, even though he was calm and certain, it was pretty aggressive. Why I want to call that aggressive? When you start to get the hands in the face, and I mean, like, Kenneth like twice as Shorty size, even if they was the same size. Like, you don't talk with anger and putting your hands in people's face like that. You know, I call a thing. Any black person can be aggressive. People say, oh, we shouldn't do that to our people and all that. I mean, I call a thing. If you acting aggressive, that's what you are. All black people aren't aggressive. Of course we're not. Some of us know how to manage our emotions and don't go off the bend, but Kenneth was aggressive, because I wouldn't want to be spoken to that way because you're upset about something. You got a right to be upset, but putting your hands all in my face and, you know, getting all extra on me, I don't want to hear it. I don't have that type of energy, because I'm not going to give that energy to you. So that's where Kenneth was right in his session. He was saying, like, hey, I don't talk to you like that, but he had a Jasmina moment from Married at First Sight. He's checking Shorty about her tone with a tone. That don't make sense. You know, you got to be calm in that sense. You have a tone later if you're exploding. But like I said, Shorty pretty much won that. She won that argument. But probably it was the funniest moment out this whole show. I think Shorty conjured up the spirit of old Marty Marr from the Martin Lawrence show when she was repeating the great Dr. Nicole of saying, like, as far as the relationships, we need to find out if we can accept us as is, and if it's how it is now, it's a no. I mean, I died laughing doing that. Like, she was calm, she was cool, she throwing jokes, she throwing shots or whatever, because she pretty much saying, like, for real, of how it's really supposed to be. You're not supposed to be with somebody or marry somebody off their potential. They may never change. So are you okay with them being the person that they are? Now, of course, people need to make certain adjustments, but changing a person, that can't happen. Only a person can change itself. So I thought it was just real funny. She clowned Kenneth. He ain't had nothing. He taking sips out of a glass that ain't had nothing in it. You know, that's how nervous she got, Kenneth. So we go to Fonzo. Fonzo, he's going on his second date with Tanisha the Temptress. And I'm thinking, like, why? Like, initially I didn't see that chemistry. You can tell Tanisha is earning her name as Tanisha the Temptress. Everything is seductive. Let me slow down. Seductive about her, you know, with the eye contact and you know, the way she's speaking and all that going on. You know, I said it was it's a thing that men date younger women, but you could really see the age difference in Alfonso. That could be her father. It just seemed like maybe Tanisha knows Fonzo's status, like being Rick Ross's co-manager. She want to get into parties too, because she coming for Fonzo hard. She's wondering why Fonzo, how is he handling all this temptation she got going on over there? And Fonzo is handling himself very well, but I can say he's still on camera. That's different. So who really knows how he would really behave or interact with Tanisha? But like I say, ain't nothing much there. So and they absolutely talked about nothing, just joking around and talking, but and Tanisha flirting. So let's go to the next date. We got Mr. You Heard Me. Kenneth, he's on his second date with Myasia, and I really think this date is like more so a revenge date with Shorty. Like, he wants to push Shorty's button, because that's Myasia is Shorty's former co-worker, and he took her to like a little, I don't know if it was like a bar or a restaurant, but I'm gonna say a bar, because all you know, Kenneth was talking about, you know, we gonna have a little bit of little libations, you heard me, you know, and all that. Like, I'm thinking Kenneth gets his pickup lines from his great uncle or something, you know, because he always talking some type of old school line or something. You know, you got me, you know, you about to capture my soul with that smile, you heard me, you know, all that whack, corny pimp daddy line stuff. It was just whack. But you could tell that Myasia is what I'm seeing, and she's like really into Kenneth. It's almost like all the dates, they like turning up the heat on the other people, like, I want you, or I'm trying to get you to come this way. And they didn't really talk about nothing, more so about Kenneth's biggest, I guess, transition or trauma in his life, because he moved from Louisiana to Atlanta. His mother moved him there or whatever, and now his new mother is Shorty. So he just, that's all he got from being a teenager up till 30 plus years old. He talk about his childhood with his mother from Louisiana and his mother in Atlanta, which is Shorty. But anyway, he ain't got nothing going on. When does he ever? So let's go on over to old Otis' date. He going on his second date with Cherie. And as I told you, I said before, I was really surprised that he went on that date, because he complained about her not showing enough body or skin in the situation. You know, Otis is kind of contradictory of himself. You know, one minute he wants a traditional submissive woman, and from the beginning, Cherie, on their first date, was talking about all submission. I'm like, oh, there you go, right there. But I get it, at this point, it's not really about the person trying to leave their partner to go with another. They just want to kind of see that there's other things out there than what they got going on, because everybody is dysfunctional at this point. But so why is Otis even going on a date? And has anybody noticed like how off Otis seems? Like, I don't know if he's on Valium or I don't know if he just has a personality of a cotton ball. I don't know. It's just like everything is. It almost like he got to talk with his head down, or he got to speak so softly or whisper. I couldn't figure out, was it a medication, or does he normally just give one word answers? Because Cherise seems like she's open to conversate or connect with Otis, and he's like, yeah, that's fine. Monaco, yeah, No, I mean, like, what is attractive about that? How could anybody connect with that? Like I said, is it the meds, or is it his personality? So let's go over to Charlie. Charlie goes on her date with the fake Odell Beckham Jr. again, and her and Otis, like I said, I've said probably in the second or third episode, they're one and the same. They go for whatever's petty, whatever's tit for tat. That's what's going on with them. So Charlie wanted to go on this date primarily just to see if Odell Beckham Jr. thought that she was weak, like Otis said. And of course he's gonna say no. And I don't believe that he thinks that. That's what Otis tell him. And she asked him and explained to him that that's what Otis said. And he's like, of course old Otis gonna say, I think you're weak, because he don't want you going another date with me. And rightfully so, because with Charlie and Otis, it's all about mind games. It's one of those, those toxic cycles that they got going on. And when Charlie was speaking to Odell Beckham Jr., it almost felt like more so like an interrogation about like how he moves with other girls. Like, is it easy for you to get girls all the time? And I'm going to give Odell Beckham Jr. some credit at this point. He peeped Charlie's game. He's like, you trying to make me out the bad guy? I guess like I'm a womanizer or what have you. And that she was pretty much fishing for answers about his past to go deep in. And Odell Beckham Jr. played it well. He was like, well, we go on another date, then we can go deeper or whatever to try to get those answers. That's right. I like how he didn't let her trick his mind or use him for the date or whatever, because I can't say that Charlie really is interested in him. She had a purpose for asking all that. I don't think she was interviewing, trying to find out how he moves so they can date. I don't believe that. But let's go on to Shorty. Shorty's going on her fourth date, like I said, planning her engagement party with Tavi. And immediately Tavi, he want to know what's going on. He like 1, 2, 3, 4, we dating hard or whatever. It's time to meet the parents or something. So he wants to know what type of growth Shorty has. We're not talking about her height. That's done. Shorty's not gonna grow anymore. But the growth process in, I guess, having the couples counseling. And he also wants to know how much more time is she going to keep wasting on Mr. You Heard Me. I mean, but he asked politely. It wasn't pushy, but at this point, I guess Tavi is at the point where he don't know the next time he going to see Shorty. So he got to go in and get the information. And he wants, like I said, he want to know what stance or what place that he has in Shorty's life. And Shorty gave the greatest politically correct answer. She pretty much saying like, she doesn't know how much time she's going to waste on Kenneth or whatever, but more so in this process, she's going to more focus on her. She's going to choose her. And Tavi was disappointed. He thought they was getting ready to get engaged or whatever. So he's saying he happy for her. I don't believe that. He wanted Shorty real bad, and that's what it was. She let Tavi down real easy without going too hard on him. So Shay, she's meeting her date. What's the name? His name is Asar. That's the guy who was the bouncer at the hibachi date or whatever. And what really surprised me about this date is how Asar really turned up that energy of like, man, you need to choose me, lead that man. I'm like, yeah, I can't even say this is your second date. I can't even say y'all been on a half a date. Y'all probably got to talk for a couple minutes or whatever before Shay went off. And how do we get there? It's like, we talked 3 minutes, leave your man, come on over here with me. It's better over here. But Shay, she got to really apologizing immediately out the gate because her behavior was ridiculous. And, Asar was like really surprised, but he said like, we could put that behind us or whatever. That's done. and they're making candles and everything. And like I said, the energy just kept on. Everything in the conversation was like, "Oh, you need me in your life. I'm the gym. You need to come." I'm like, Asar is worse than Tanisha the Temptress at this point. I mean, it's giving off a little pathetic. That's what I'm gonna say. And Shay ain't really having it. Shay ain't having it. Her heart, her mind, and her clout card is with Alfonso. So all the couples, they're back with the they doing their little group session. And Fonzo is pretty much telling the great Dr. Nicole that he's really learned to fight off that temptation. Because, they threw something hard at him, a real hard curveball with Tanisha the Temptress. So normally, I guess he would go forward with Tanisha the Temptress, but he knows there's boundaries and all that. Like I said, I believe it because there's a camera. Anytime that him and Shay are together, he can give somebody money, don't introduce or explain why he's giving that person money. What will he do on his own? And he claims he doesn't even have female friends. So what that tell you? So we can't go too deep on how naive Shay is being. But okay, we're gonna play along. But Shay pretty much said that her date was cool with Asir, and he's the type of guy that she would probably be in relationship with or whatever. But Shay is saying something very realistically. She's like, for real, I wouldn't, even though I like Asir, I wouldn't move on with him because I would really need to work on myself and just jumping right into another relationship. And Dr. Nicole was proud of it. I mean, it was a minor step. These aren't 20-year-olds. Like, okay, you need a little time when you break up out of your 3-year toxic relationships. You gotta detox. But okay, let's give Shay the credit. We're proud of her. And Alfonso for not being tempted by Tanisha the Temptress. All right, so we go to Shorty. And Shorty was talking about her date with Tavi and how, I guess more so, that Tavi wanted to know what's up. You ready to jump ship from Kenneth and come on over here? And Shorty pretty much says that the same thing that Shay said, like she ain't ready to, dive into that because she can't give Tavi what he wants as far as a relationship because, she got a psycho serial stalker in Kenneth, so it ain't gonna just be that easy, even if she's feeling him or not. So I would say, as far as the situation like with Kenneth, he went on another date with what is her name, Myasia. Like I said, just to kind of debug Shorty or whatever. And he was saying like he really couldn't open himself up in date because I believe that the way Kenneth dressed on all his dates, his mannerism, Kenneth is just like a weird oddball. The man, I'm a little leery of Kenneth, and we'll get a little deeper into that before this video ends. But he started going on how great that Myasia was, and it felt so good for a woman to be into him, and he had to just put himself in the mind. He get to shaking. He put himself in the mindset. You heard me. I ain't in no relationship or whatever. You heard me. Water. I was about to blame it on the alcohol. You dig me? And all that. And Shorty like, what's up with that? But in his confessional, he said that he was buttering up the situation with Myasia just to hurt Shorty, because they petty like that. They doing the tit for tat. Instead of trying to heal and clean up the relationship, they want to play get back and all that. So it ain't gonna never work. So let's go to Mr. Otis. Oh, Mr. Otis. Mr. Otis, like I said, and when I see Mr. Otis, I think, medication. Dr. Nicole is asking Otis about his date, and he coming off like, he like 12 or 13 years old. How was school? Good. How was the food? Good. How was outside? Good. How are your friends? Good. Everything's good. One word answers. And like I said, I don't know. Something's wrong with Otis, or maybe the confident, aggressive guy we met in the beginning was just an act. Who knows? So Charlie, she talks about her date with Odell Beckham Jr. and she said it was really a cool date. Dr. Cole wanted to know, like, what did she learn about herself, and she didn't really go into it. She went right to what the purpose of the date was, to find out if the fake Odell Beckham Jr. thought she was weak. And I mean, that reason just to go out on that date was weak for real, because why would Odell Beckham Jr. think the same thing that Otis believes, even though he just projected that onto Charlie? But she's immature like that, and like I said, it was just that they still on that get back petty time or whatever. They not even fixing a relationship. So it's decision time. Dr. Nicole gives the option. You can either go on your date, go on another date, I guess with the same person that you just went with, or you can go out with your significant other and just focus on the relationship, because this is going to be the last dates or whatever till the finale. And everybody is pretty much ready to go in. Like, I'm gonna spend some time with my significant other. You heard me. Mr. You Heard Me and Shorty said they going in. Shay and Fonzo said they going in on a date. Even though Shay was saying like, "Oh, you were tempted by Tanisha. You sure you don't want to go on another date?" I wish he would have said, "Yeah, I do," but because Shay always threatened like she gonna leave. She ain't gonna leave. I don't care what's going on. She may not get married, but she ain't going nowhere. But who broke the pattern going on? It's Otis and Charlie. Charlie asked, was she going another date with Odell Beckham Jr. or want to go with Otis? And before I say that, I thought that was a weird question from the great Dr. Nicole, because if you are presented with an opportunity to say, hey, I want to go out with my significant other, what if your significant other don't want to go out? Where does that leave you? So you're going to go out with yourself, take yourself on a date and talk to yourself about your relationship. But Charlie was like, well, I was not going to go with Odell Beckham Jr., but I think I'm going to go again for closure. And Otis can't even hide. He like, this is some ridiculous bullshit. It's crazy, because we already know that Odell want to take Charlie from Otis. What did they clear up from the last date? Is she trying to move forward with the guy or what? So I guess Otis got to let her take the process. But, Otis is petty too. He like, well, I think I should go on a third date with Cherie. And that was pretty much it for the episode. And as I said, with this show, we're coming to an end. We think we got 2 more episodes coming down. And in the next episode, the ladies are looking at wedding dresses, but apparently Charlie and Otis are still fighting and going on. But what is the super duper kicker is when I spoke about Kenneth having a mini meltdown, he got a full meltdown in the next episode. Like, he going in talking about, you see him talking to Shorty, and you can see all his sharp teeth come out of his mouth. You weak, and his eyebrows go like. He got an evil side, as we know. What we see on camera isn't totally what Kenneth is giving, and you can see he's self-medicating, he drinking hard, he hitting some vodka, he hitting some Hennessy, he going all the time about, Shorty telling him like, hey, you really looking like a clown. I don't care how I look, or went out to the balcony and then came out and said, I feel great. And this 6'4", 30-plus-year-old man did a half a cartwheel. This somebody's father. This somebody's fiance, if we can call it that. It's all fun and games until he holds Shorty off the balcony. The man is unstable. You hear what I'm saying? Unstable. So I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to take it as all entertainment. Maybe Dr. Nicole told him to do the cartwheel, a half a cartwheel. I don't know. But get down in the comments. That was pretty much it. Let me know what y'all think. Something I missed. And we're going to chat it up about put a ring on it. You heard me? So, as I tell y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world. But you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it.